everybody, and welcome to episode 4 of my podcast, Acting with Amelie and Behind the Scenes. Today's podcast is going to be a bit different. I am with
Aldana
Ghazaoui. She is my best friend in the whole entire freaking world. And today we have a little Q&A. I've had a lot of requests from a lot of people that they wanted to know more about my opinions and what I think about certain things. So I just asked if they could write that out into questions. And Dana is gonna ask them.
This is what we got. Amelie, what do you like most being in New York, and what did you have to adapt to?
The fact that literally no one cares about what you do. I could leave my house wearing whatever I want. I could leave wearing a cow costume, or I could wear shoes on my head and pants as earrings, and no one would even bat an eye. It's easy to kind of experiment there and to try new things without the fear of judgment.
What did you have to adapt
What
to?
I had to adapt to? The weather. Because New York is fucking cold. It's brick during the winter. That's what I had to adapt to. I was raised in the desert in a hot climate, and New York is quite cold.
What do you think can make a role challenging, and why?
Role challenging and why? I don't think there's anything specific that I can pinpoint, like this is what makes it difficult. I would say if you're not prepared, if you haven't done your research, if you haven't done your Uta Hagens, so Uta Hagens is basically 9 questions, right? And it tells you everything you need to know about your character.
Wow.
Their name, where they're from, their religion, their friends, their circumstances, their likes, their dislikes, their beliefs, their non-beliefs, like everything.
Wow.
So once you really get to know your character, then that can alter how you portray that character. So personally, I've never had like a big difficulty with a specific character. I did once when I didn't do my Uta Hagens. So therefore, I didn't know who my character was. I didn't know anything about them, and then I was like, oh yeah, I don't know what they would do in this situation, and I didn't know how to then work off my partner because I didn't know my character that well. So I'd say as long as you do your homework, you do your research, and you really know your character well.
How can you differentiate that? Is it like a
Like
switch? I've been always curious about actors, how they
What
do that.
I would do and what the character would do.
Not what you would do, but just even your mannerisms. It's sort of like a switch in your head of being a new person, of portraying a new character.
So yeah, so that's why research is so important, because for example, based on how the character was raised, their table manners can be different, right? If they were raised in maybe a low-income household, maybe they'll have their elbows on the table, or maybe they'll eat their mouth open, or whatever. If they were raised in a very posh environment, very high class or very strict parents or whatever, then they might be very they have a better posture, and they might carry themselves different and have different gestures and mannerisms and stuff.
Interesting.
So it's
That's cool. What is the most unexpected quality you learned about yourself in acting school?
I discovered that I'm a very sensitive person.
Okay.
I'm very sensitive, and I can be very vulnerable. Because growing up with my family, I was always the opposite. I didn't like to show emotions. I didn't like to, show like my soft side, open up. I was always like, yeah, I'm tough, whatever.
Okay.
It's like, I don't care. That doesn't make me cry, whatever. I'm very vulnerable, and I think that's a very positive thing.
It's a powerful
Because
thing.
because it allows you to feel things differently and feel things more deeper than a lot of people. And also the same thing about, living in New York is that people just don't care. The amount of times I've walked down the street crying my eyes out because I don't know, I just had a bad day, or I saw a cat or something on the street, and God bless it. Like, people don't care, and not in the sense of like I've had people give me like tissues and be like, hope you're okay, darling.
Get away
But
from me.
they don't judge you. You feel me? I don't know, maybe they do secretly, but it doesn't bother me.
That's their problem.
So
That's their problem.
Their problem.
Okay. Do you believe talent or training is more important to an actor? Talent versus training. That's a good one.
That's a difficult question to answer, because I feel like a lot of people are naturally talented at acting, and there's just something that they understand and they get, which makes them a good actor. But also, I remember I thought the same thing before going to acting school. I was like, I don't need to go to acting school. Like, I'm good. I spoke to one of my mentors and they told me, okay, when are you gonna go to acting school? And I was like, I'm not gonna go to acting school. They're like, why the hell not? If you want to become an actor, you have to go to acting school. And I was like, okay, makes sense. And I did go to acting school, and I noticed that the training made me a better actor. You know, because
skills.
there's certain skills that you learn in acting school, and it just, I have a whole different perspective of what acting is, and kind of the craft and how you build on it and how you can work on it, and different ways to prepare your body for, because some acting scenes or theater productions, they're a lot for you, you know, mentally, physically, can be very straining. So like preparing your body for all that, and like how to loosen up and open up and allow yourself to again feel things deeper. So is talent more important than training, or vice versa? I'd say both. I really can.
Fair.
Because I feel like anyone can become an actor. Because there's no right way to act and there's no wrong way to act. Acting, you're just portraying a character. There's no right or wrong way to portray a character.
You have to just know how to do that.
You just have to know how.
It's interesting.
And why, and
so you would give
unique.
It's 50-50. They're
50-50.
both as
50
as important. Yeah.
Maybe training.
Look, the way I see it, honestly, is I think 50-50, because let's just say with psychology, you can be good at understanding people, you can be good at speaking to people, but you also have to learn to compartmentalize a lot. What are personal views, putting yourself in other people's shoes, and you wouldn't be able to do that without the right skill and learning technique. So there's sort of both and everything.
I agree.
How would you approach a scene when you don't get along with your scene partner? That's how.
See, that's tough, because we're always taught in acting school, you always have to give your attention to your partner.
Okay.
So if I'm doing a scene with someone else, my attention should be on them, not on myself.
Okay.
Right?
What's the reasoning as well?
So if I'm focused on myself, for example, like what I'm wearing, how I'm standing, how I'm breathing, how my hair looks, like do I look good? I'm not giving the other person my attention.
Okay.
Therefore, I cannot react off of them.
Okay.
You know? I'd say keep it professional. We don't have to talk about our personal lives. We don't have to have small talk, nothing. Because also it's not me that's having a conversation with this person, it's my character having a conversation with this person. As long as the other person stays professional and, you know, civil, I think it's good. But yeah, just focus on the work.
How can a young person come to a different country without the support of nuclear family and go into a profession where you're basically emotionally naked to the world?
Okay, that's a good question. I'd say it made it easier.
Really?
It made it easier because, like I said, acting, it's a very vulnerable thing, right? A very vulnerable process. And I think that if I were to have to do that with my family around, I'd be insecure. And I'd hold back. But it's that thing going back to it where it's like, acting is a very vulnerable thing, and because I was never vulnerable with my family, I just don't feel comfortable to do it now. I feel like they would be seeing a whole nother side of me, and then that would cause a lot of questions to be asked, or maybe even judgments that I'm not ready for.
Do you think it comes from you, and like what you expect would happen, or how it would actually play out? Like, do you think it's a self thing, or do you
think it's a self thing?
It's a self thing?
Because my family is very supportive of what I do. They're very supportive. They support me every step of the way. But it's just that thing of you're really naked. You know, you're giving it your all. You're really putting those emotions on the table, and it's something that I haven't really done with my family.
You're exposed.
So you're out there. Exposed. You're out. So
bye-bye.
It's
Which celebrity would you like to work with and act together?
Oh my God, there's so many. One of them is definitely, and if you don't know this one,
I think I've been hearing this since like middle school.
Say it.
Sandra Bullock.
Yes! Sandra Bullock is one of my favorite actresses. I love her so much. She was such, like, someone I really looked up to when I was a kid. You know, her acting style and just everything that she's done. You know, she's produced, she's directed, she's acted, she's done so much. So definitely Sandra Bullock is one of them, and like a really big one. But also Viola Davis.
Okay.
Do you know Viola Davis? She plays in How to Get Away with Murder.
I'm not gonna know.
Anyways, she's fantastic. She's so talented. Also,
In what way? What do you admire about her?
Oh my god, she acts in such a raw way. It's so realistic. Every time she does a scene like where she's like, I don't know, either screaming at someone, she's giving it her all. I'm just like, holy shit.
She's going at it.
Like you're going at it and like your breathing is so controlled and you can just tell she's so grounded.
We should watch one of her movies
We
tonight.
should.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
We
she's
need
good.
to.
Also, Melissa McCarthy.
What's one of your favorite things she acts in? If someone wants to go and watch.
The Heat
The Heat?
with Sandra Bullock and Melissa
Oh
McCarthy.
Lord, okay.
Oh my god, it was so good. I think she's so funny.
Okay.
So if I were to ever do a comedy, I would definitely want to do a comedy with her.
Okay.
Her and Sandra Bullock would be amazing.
It's gonna happen one day.
Ooh, Hugh Laurie. You know Hugh Laurie, he plays in House.
I don't even know what House is.
Okay,
Bless
it's
your
a really
soul.
good TV show. But Hugh Laurie, definitely.
Okay.
I also think he's amazing and he's very talented. I know damn well that tonight I'm gonna be thinking over and over. I'm gonna be like, oh, I should have said this person. I should have said that person.
But that's who initially comes to mind.
That's what initially comes to mind. Oh, Sarah Paulson,
Okay.
Kate Blanchett.
How would you cope or deal with having to do all the little side gigs until you finally make enough to actually earn a living?
I think going into acting, I knew it wasn't gonna be easy. You know, it is one of those very difficult careers to succeed and excel in, just because there's so many people out there that want to be an actor, right? And they want to be a successful actor. So it's hard, and a lot of times I'm putting much more energy and effort into it than I'm getting out of it. And I do have to have like side jobs and side gigs to actually like pay rent or pay other stuff, because at the moment I'm not making as much for acting as I would want to. I knew going into this is how it was going to be. And I just have to keep going, because I have to remember that I didn't go into acting because of the money. I went into acting because it's something I enjoy and I love doing. So people always say, do what makes you happy, and then money will come along the way. It'll just make sense at some point, I guess. So I'm kind of just trusting that
Okay.
and going for it, because acting doesn't get me the sustainable funds to pay my rent yet.
Okay. Absolutely. What do you think makes a performance most believable and why?
I think as soon as I'm watching a performance, whether it's on TV, like whether it's a movie or whether it's in theater, as soon as I see the actor forcing an emotion or forcing anything, it just puts me out of it.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, they're trying too hard. They're trying too hard, it's not believable. They're trying to make it theatrical, they're trying to make it dramatic, it's just not working, right? I would say less is more, especially with TV and film, right? TV and film is basically, it's a story told in pictures. Not necessarily words and narration. It's the pictures that really show the story. So I would say a lot of times, like some of the most amazing performances I've seen, the people weren't even talking. It was just their body language and their facial expressions and just these raw emotions. You just understand what they're going through, you know? I think anything that's overly narrated is annoying, first of all. It is really annoying. You know, you have to let the audience, like, give them an opportunity to also for themselves think, like, oh, what's going on? Why are they feeling like that? Why are they, that really, you know, draws me in, and then I'm just really drawn into their emotions and, like, their body language, their mannerisms and gestures. So I'd say less is more. Get the audience thinking.
Use their brain. Ooh.
Ooh.
What do you like doing when you're not acting?
Ooh. I like to do physical stuff. For example, going to the gym, going on long walks, also educating myself. I started reading more, which my father would be very proud of.
Good.
You know, reading more, doing my own stuff also. You know, writing, going to creative writing classes, doing stuff on my own, hanging out with friends that aren't actors. You know, really, like, you have to at some point separate yourself from the craft and from acting, and then go back into it. You know, you need a balance of a little bit of everything. Otherwise, you're just gonna drive yourself crazy.
That's true.
So I'd say anything that benefits me in terms of like mindfulness or staying fit. You know, I love like health and fitness. You know, going to the gym and all that stuff. It just keeps me sane.
You love cooking.
I love cooking.
She made an
Oh,
insane meal for us the last 3 nights, like,
thank
night
you.
after night.
As long as I'm not doing nothing, you know, like, oh, unless I'm acting, there's nothing else I can be doing. Like, what?
I don't think I've ever seen you just say, I'm chilling today.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen that from
Doing
you since the
something.
7th grade.
Always doing something.
Yeah, it just doesn't.
Always
yeah.
up to some mischief.
Oh,
Always
God.
doing something.
Deciding what we're gonna eat, what's for breakfast, what's for lunch, and what's for dinner.
I'm a big foodie. I love food.
You love socializing.
I do love socializing.
She loves socializing.
I love socializing and just
She loves
doing,
nature.
doing stuff.
Out and about, no rest.
Yep.
The only time she rests is when it's literally time to sleep. What is your ambition in becoming an actor? What do you want to achieve for yourself and for your audience?
I would want to achieve a reputation where an audience member knows, oh, if I'm watching a movie with this person, it's gonna make my day. Like, that's the type of feeling I have with like Sandra Bullock.
Okay.
When I'm having a bad day, I'm like, I just need to watch a Sandra Bullock movie. You know, like 2 Weeks Notice or Miss Congeniality or like just
Okay.
like a rom-com, right? So that's something I want to achieve with myself. You know, I want my audience members to be like, oh, I'm having a rough day. I just need to watch a movie with Amelie in it.
Like an escape.
An escape. Yeah.
This is starring Amelie Eckert.
I love entertaining. I really do. And I love entertaining in a comedic way.
Okay.
You know, I like making people laugh. I like making people smile. You know, it sounds cheesy, but it's true. It does. So I think that's my main goal. Is I wanna build that reputation where I have that bond, I guess, with my audience members.
Okay.
I like to entertain them, and they like to be entertained by me.
Do you think that the characters you portray have an imprint on your off-screen personality?
Ooh, I think in terms of what I learn being that character. So I said every time I play a character, right, you have to do your research, and you're Uta Hagens. And an important thing is also the time period that your character is set in. You have to do research about that time period. You know, who was president, who was in the government, what were some major events that happened during that time, you know. So I'd say that in terms of being more knowledgeable about maybe history or certain time periods, that kind of leaves an imprint. But actual like characteristics from the character, no.
It's a very good way to
Yeah.
answer the question.
I've had a lot of people say, like, you know, when we were doing a show or theater show, you know, they'd be like, oh, I'm so upset, this is our last show, I'm not ready to leave this character. I've never had that problem. I've never had that problem where I was like, I'm scared, you know, whatever. No. I've never had that problem. When we were done with the show, I was done with the character.
Okay.
You know, it's like, I was honored, I felt honored to be able to portray that character, and I had so much fun playing with that character and being in her shoes. But once I'm done, I'm done.
You're like, but I'm Amelie.
I'm done. I'm excited for the next one.
No issues here.
No issues
No
here.
issues here. When did you realize that acting is what you want to do? It's one of those careers that seems daunting. Chances of success, money, or a normal life are rare. Did that discourage you, or what pushed you to get into it?
That's a good question to end it off with. I always loved to entertain, whether it was at the dinner table, you know, with my parents, with my siblings, with my friends. I always loved to entertain, and I love to tell stories. And I've had a lot of people tell me, like, oh my god, you should go into acting. Like, the way you just said that story was so funny, or it was so theatrical, so physical. And I was like, yeah, I think I want to keep doing this. Like, I get so much joy and adrenaline from, like, other people's reactions that's what made me want to become an actor. Also, every time I watched a show, like a theater show, like I remember watching Mamma Mia or like watching specific movies, I was like, oh my god, I want to do that, and I want to give my audience members the same feeling that movie just gave me. You know, that's what I want. And is it daunting and scary because it's such a difficult career path? Yes, it is, and I do have doubts. I do sometimes think, am I doing the right thing? Am I did I fuck up? Should I have gone into business school or economic school or something like that? Yeah, I do have those thoughts a lot. But it would have made me more scared if I haven't even tried. If I was, for example, if I was in business school right now and I said, damn, I didn't even give it a try, I didn't even give it a go, I didn't even like jump headfirst at trying, then I would have constantly lived with that what if.
That's
You know?
powerful.
Are we good?
We don't have any more questions for the moment. I don't have any other.
I think we had a really good conversation.
That was nice.
That was good.
I learned a lot about you. I've known you for a long time, but I learned a lot about you from this
Yeah.
convo.
Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe.
Sure.
Dana, thank you for interviewing me today.
Thank you for having me.
I love you.
Love you.
And have a good day. If you have any more questions, leave a comment.
Bye.
Bye.
Boo.
Ooh, that was good.
Proud of you. So proud of you.